that was it all. The last time we had Frank Mba here, but today we are looking at reforms in the police. How have they changed so far? What have they inputted? You remember the police college then? And we also asked him about, well, the status of that particular college as we speak. And he said it's fantastic now, plus other things that they have put for the police. Well, police reforms is on Sunrise Daily this morning with Frank Mba, Force Public Relations Officer. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Okay, good morning.
Well, a whole lot, and I remember one of us once asked how is it that it is only, well, the middle or the high cadre of the Nigeria police you get to see with some form of civility. And people started talking about training and retraining and orientation for the Nigerian police. Perhaps maybe that is where we should start from. How well have you been able to redirect things to the extent that the constable, the sergeant, and others in the force get trained regularly?
Well, I think for us, if you followed the administration of the current Inspector General of Police, when he came on board, the first thing he did was to declare a state of emergency on our training schools and also declare a state of emergency on our training needs. And part of those unfortunate things you saw at the police college were some of the things that he has actually set out to actually address, working in collaboration with the federal government. And I'm glad to report today that we have made significant and massive progress in this regard. Not only has the police college Ikeja been turned around to a modern police academy, as was witnessed when the vice president came to actually officially throw it open, but also we've also seen massive infrastructural improvement in other police training institutions. In Kaduna, for example, Police College Kaduna, for example, we have worked together with private organizations. First Bank, for example, in exercise of its corporate social responsibility, did carry out a lot of renovation works at Police College Kaduna. The same thing is happening at Oji River. The same thing is happening at Police Detective College in Enugu. We've also been able to set up a police intelligence school in Ilori. And as I'm talking to you, there are a lot of work going on at the permanent site in Ilori.
But let's talk on police intelligence school, because I remember time moments and times for us as a people and a nation. Well, we've always talked about intelligence gathering, which is very important here. And then people also said once upon a time we had police who would, well, even go undercover, get information from the people. Let's talk on intelligence gathering. What's about that particular school and training for officers in that institution?
That's one area where I think the reforms of the current IGP has actually done excellently well. As I speak to you, the Police Intelligence School has actually started operation. Despite the fact that the permanent site is still undergoing construction, we decided to use the Police Detective College in Enugu as a takeoff place for the Police Intelligence School. And between February and now, we've been able to train about 1,500 intelligence operatives, and for the intelligence world, 1,500 is quite a very large number. And we're doing this training in collaboration with our partners from FBI and other secret police organizations across the world. And not only are we training police officers at the Police Intelligence School, we're also training other operatives from the military, from the customs, the immigration, and the rest of the security organizations in Nigeria. And that again is we're not just training them there, we're also providing a platform to increase synergy amongst these agencies. And we are not just training our operatives here, we've also entered into bilateral arrangements with other countries. As I'm speaking to you, 27 of our police operatives are leaving the shores of this country today. They are going to Israel, where they are also be undergoing a lot of trainings in the areas of intelligence gathering. We've also had about 57 of them from the Force Intelligence Bureau who have been trained at International Law Enforcement Academy in Botswana. And most of these people we're training, we're not just training them as operatives, we're also training them as trainers. So they come back and they go back to their respective areas, and they also try to impact positively on the rest of operatives by actually training them. So I think one thing we've been able to do is resuscitating our intelligence branch, giving it a new lease of life. And the IGP took his time to appoint a very seasoned, a very intelligent AIG Solomon Arase, who had worked with so many inspector generals of police as a principal staff officer. He was a former head of the state CID here in Panti. He was a former commissioner of police in Akwa Ibom State. He's a lawyer. He's a proper bred police officer, and he's bringing his experiences and competencies to bear on that department.
I think a host of people can appreciate that, you're definitely doing a lot in the area of training from what you have said, but I think the one area where a host of people are also wondering if it's high on your priority list is what is also happening in terms of police image. There's this perception on the part of Nigerians about the Nigeria police. What is the police doing to change that particular perception, at least for the positive?
Well, I think let's be realistic here. The image that we carry as police officers is actually a reflection of the image that all of us carry as Nigerians. Mark, you will agree with me that each time you travel around the world, you get some challenges. There are some areas where you bring out your green passport and people begin to try to scrutinize you the way they probably have not scrutinized other people. If you also travel around Nigeria, you get these sayings like, oh, the country is bad, lecturers are corrupt, they give marks to students for money. I mean, we're talking of lecturers in our avatars. You visit our hospitals and you see stories like they are diverting medical supplies meant for hospitals. You go to...
I agree with you.
So, look, the point I'm trying to make... No, the point I'm trying to make is we've got a general problem. While we're trying to address our own problem, we must also collectively try to address the general injustice, those general perceptions that are also trying to pull us down. Because at the end of the day, we don't recruit police officers from outside Nigeria. Every single police officer you see in Nigeria is first and foremost a Nigerian. We must get this right. So, and some of the things, why we are trying to turn around situations, and you will agree with me that we're doing everything to turn them around for good.